Welcome to Blossom Homestead. My name's Sharon. So in this week's video I'm going to actually I'll show you my pantry, and then I'll show you some books that I use to preserve my produce, and I'm also going to do what they call a pantry challenge. So come along. So this is my top shelf. So this is my tomato juice that I've done. That's just excess out of when I'm doing my tomatoes. I just take that juice out, and then I don't have to boil it down too much. So, and this is just my tomatoes. I just tomatoes. That's it, and a bit of salt and a bit of citric acid in these. And so I can anything with that. Any tomato based is I can use that. And these here are my bread and butter cucumbers. So haven't got many left in my cucumbers. Here is my sweet and sour that I made quite a few years ago, so I'll use that up. And in the middle there at the back is my tomato sauce. That's quite nice. I'll leave that. I'll use the other stuff up. And this is my Worcestershire sauce that I made out of the plums that I got from a friend. So yeah, that's all good. Here is my orange juice that I did preserve here quite a while ago. It's one of my first things that I tried to preserve, and yeah, I'll see how I go. I'll try to use that up. And then this is that tomato sauce that we made together. But I don't really actually like it, so somehow I'll use it up in something or other. So in the back is the coffees for the hubby. He likes having coffee, and I've got to see my tea in the back there. So, and then this is chicken chow mein. I'm not really that crash hot on it, but we'll have to use it up. I'll probably put noodles in it or something like that. And then this is just grape juice or fruit juice or something that we like to have as well. So here is the spaghettis that I like to have on hand. If we sometimes like having bacon and eggs, we probably have that. So this here is just chicken stock, and then over here is my junk drawer. No. Right, this is my third row down, and this here is like when the kids were younger. They this one here, but if this was empty, then there'd be the whole pantry was empty. Yeah. So, and my noodles. So here I have, this is what they call ugly chicken. So I've canned that, pressure canned it, and I'm going to be using that in the pantry challenge. And my lard, we like Promite, peanut butter. These here are just snacks. And this here is mandarin in vinegar, just white vinegar. So this here I use for my dishwasher as rinse aid, and I also use that as spray and wipe. And I've only got one jar of that left, so that's going to be on my list to do up this year. And then this here's my homemade Dijon mustard. So we don't use that much of that, but I think we're going to have to start using whole grain mustard. I've got one that I made up. This one here, I made that one up. It's really nice. So I'm going to have to use these up and make some more. And these here are going to have to go because they're probably out of date. And split peas and my legumes back there that I use. So this one here, these here are my French onion and my for tacos and stuff like that. That's my what I use, but I'm going to get rid of these so that I can make up my own, because I found a recipe that I'm wanting to try, but I've got to use these up first. These here are sardines with tomato. We just sometimes like fish on our sandwiches. Now this here is my tomato powder that I did up last year. There's all my tin tuna. And then I've got this here is my mushrooms that I've done up. I've only got a couple left. Been using them up. This is just tomatoes, and add a bit of salt and citric acid in those. These here are my locusts that I cut up a few years ago. Need to use those up. And I did pears in Midori. That's actually quite nice. And I've got plums in honey. This is my salsa. That's my dried mushrooms, and that's little dill cucumbers and jams in the back there. That looks like my barbecue sauce. And that's that. So this here is my fourth row down, and I have Ziploc bags in here, and these are just what I use. Colin likes cordial, Powerade, and then this is my green tomato red. I don't like that as much as I do the red tomato ones, but so I've got a few of those. And this is beef stew, so I'm going to be using that up in my pantry challenge. And then I've got my cucumber spread. That's yummy, but we haven't even been using much of it. So that's and in the back there is my coconut milk, and I've got sticky date pudding that I jarred up, mustard and stuff. Now this here, I'll show you my book too. I've got to do that. Chicken and frittata, whatever they call them. That I don't really like it, so I don't know what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to use them up, and probably a bit of rice and put it on a wrapper, like a burrito type thing. So that's my corn relish. I've only got a couple of those, so that's another thing on my list. I like condensed milk. I like to make mayonnaise with this. And this here is my potato that I've done apple juice. That's quite nice. So I'm going to have to start drinking it, because to get rid of it, it's been in there a while. And this here is what I made the other day, but not this. This is bought stuff. This is pickled garlic, and it's absolutely yum. But yeah, so that pineapple, corn, just crushed corn. I did that a few years ago too. That was quite nice. Don't really use corn that much, but tuna mornay's and stuff like that, I like that in there. And my mustard pickles, I use mustard pickles on out of cauliflower. Make that out of cauliflower. Zucchini relish. And then this is all my spices and all my flowers and stuff there. So this here's my fifth row down, and I like wraps and stuff, so I keep them on hand just for making wraps. But I'm going to be making enchiladas and stuff like that. Oh, that might be good with that chicken. So this is my peaches that I've done with you guys, and that's my kohlrabi. Haven't used any of that yet, so that's going to be good. My mandarin marmalade. This is my cauliflower. That's been good. Here, that's that pickled, but that's fermented. That's very similar to that thing there. So that's my garlic that I did the other day with you guys. That's all my garlic and honey, and this is my old stuff. And cauliflower. Oh, coleslaw, sorry guys. So, and then this is all my vinegars and sauces and oils and and stuff in there that I have. So this here is my 6th row down, and I have my bar mix there, and I've got my bread maker there and my slow cooker and stuff like that there. And then this is my beetroot, not much left, so I'm gonna use that sparingly. And then that is my oh my goodness, my caramelized onion that I done, and that's my pickled onions. And then in the back there is my mayonnaise that I like, and this is my oils and my vinegar that I like to keep. So these here are the books that I like using, and this is how I like to preserve my produce throughout the year. And my favourite one is my Bulls preserving home preserving book, and I've had that, and you get lots of little things in there that you want to try, and so this is my favourite. And this is, I basically use this one here for my water bath or Fowlers, but when I do the water bath, I actually do the Vacola Fowlers unit that I've got, and I go by that, not by what these are. And then for pressure canning, these here are my go-to. This one here has all the recipes that I've used, and that's got the chicken focaccia or whatever it's called. I showed it when I did my tour. Well, that's in this one, and so is my other one. What's that other one called? Chicken chow mein, or however you pronounce it. That's in this one as well. And this here is a book that it's just a guide on how to pressure can and what to pressure can, like my meats and all that stuff. I use this here as a guide to pressure canning my produce as well. And it's got some recipes in there as well, which is really good. And then for fermenting, this is my go-to. I've got another book, but I really don't use it. This is my go-to one that I use. And for just for doing any drinks and that, this is my one that I love using as well. And this here I've had for a friend of mine, gave it to me many moons ago, and I've only not long got it out and started to look through it again to see what I can use and how to use this in my preserving my produce. So I've been preserving for my produce, so I'm going to try what they call a pantry challenge. And there's a whole group of people out there in Australia that are doing the same thing. And a lady that I follow on, I'll write her channel down when I go to edit this video, and she's doing a 365 day, and I can't do that because I don't have like a big enough freezer or anything like this. So, but I'm going to try 3 months. I want to try to do 3 months, but I'm going to do 1 month at a time and see how I go. So I'm not going to go shopping, and a few people know that I actually do work in a supermarket, so that's going to be quite challenging. So but I'm going to try to do no spend for a month, and then I'm going to eat my produce and clean out my freezer, and then we'll go from there. But I'm allowing myself $50 a month, $50 a week, because my husband needs milk and we like cheese as well, and I can't buy a year's worth of cheese or 3 months worth of cheese for us, or milk.
So I'm going to allow $50 a week for whatever I need. But I'm hoping to not spend anything else other than milk and that for a month. But I'm going to try to aim for 3 months. But I've never done it before, and it's going to be interesting to see how my produce stand up and how far I can stretch it all. So if you are wanting to come along or you want to try and do it yourself, go for it. It's going to be quite interesting to see how I go. I'll just do my teas and show you at the end of my week's video, just to show you what I have been up to with my pantry challenge. All right, thanks for joining me. Come along. Thanks for joining me on this week on Blossom Homestead as we go about and preserve my produce and come along with our pantry challenge that I'm doing. All right, thanks for joining me. You guys, like, comment and subscribe, please. All right, thanks for joining me this week. You guys take care and God bless.